They tell me to drop my trowel, so I'm naked, and told me to get up on the bed, like on my fours, doggy style. Yeah. So I'm sitting there.
Hefner walks in.
So they tell me with the skeleton key. Fuck, Hef.
Hello and welcome back to another great episode of Inappropriate. My name's Jim.
I'm Steve.
And we have a pretty fun show today. I have to say, I always say that, but I think this show might be one of the best shows we've ever done.
Yeah, I think it probably will be.
We have some great topics today, and Steve, why don't you tease a little bit what we're going to get into later?
How far would you go for one item in your entire life? A woman went a little too far.
I think later we need to talk about Hugh Hef. I rest in peace, brother, but I've been finding out some things about Hugh Hefner that might change your mind, that he might not be the playboy that we all thought he was. But first, we have two things. Cousin brother Phil is back.
There he is. 2 weeks in a row.
I'm stuck here.
I flattened your tires.
I want to get into some of the best beer moments of life.
All right.
And it's kind of maybe hard to describe, but I was thinking about some things, and there are just some moments as an adult that just you look forward to, and you don't even realize you look forward to it until maybe you look back.
Yeah.
And they're just simple little moments in time where when we get into this, you can message us at Jim and Steve, Inappropriate with Jim and Steve on Facebook, if you have some better or additional beer moments. So let me just kick off one just quick one, and that's the airport beer is just a little bit special.
It does. It always tastes a little bit better because airports, you can drink a beer no matter what
Any
time of
day.
day.
Right,
and
right.
it's
never weird.
It's acceptable. Yeah, there's always somebody there. If it's early in the morning or it's late at night, like it's always acceptable to have a beer.
So you got one?
I love tailgating for sporting events. That first beer when you get to a tailgate where it is
Like you're done setting up?
Yeah, like you got to go set up. And you get up early, get all your shit ready.
The first crack of the beer,
and you go down, yeah, and then
Exactly.
you, as soon as you have that first one, you crack it open. You're just like, all right, now let's get everything started.
The morning after beer sometimes is pretty amazing.
The recovery beer,
beer.
Try to knock it out of your beer.
Yeah, that is a good one because it instantly either makes you straight again, like
right.
level-headed, or it's just like a continuation where you're just like, all right.
And it's not easy. It's rough. But
yeah.
it's
You ever
the
see
shot.
where people do, like, they would always drink, like, the beer and then, like, they put an egg in it and stuff like that?
Oh.
I would never do that, but...
After a hangover,
I mean,
that
I
shit's
guess
coming right back up.
yeah, I know. It's gross just even thinking about it. I think another good one is, like, when you're going to, like, it's a night out with, like, the boys, and then, like, everyone gets there, and like, as soon as you get there, like, you order, because if you're, like, late, like, if someone else is there, like, where you text your buddy and you're like, order me or whatever, and then you go there and the beer's already there.
And it's ready for you.
It's ready. That's so awesome. And you always drink it, like, super fast.
Because you're also trying to catch up a little bit.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you think you're a little behind everyone
yeah,
else.
so you feel like you got to, like, right off the bat, just down that first beer.
One of my favorite beers is that 7 p.m. hotel balcony beer. Like right before you go out for the night.
Oh, yeah.
And you're on vacation, you go out on the balcony right 7 p.m.
Yeah.
and you're just looking out, ready for the night.
Yeah.
That 7 p.m. hotel balcony beer.
When you're sitting on the beach. That beer
that
on the
was
beach.
high on my list too. That first beer after you set up, you plop your ass down in that chair and you go, hey, give me a beer.
I think we're missing the most important one. Their first beer after a hard week of work.
Oh,
yeah.
That's on my list too.
That's always the go-to,
That
man.
Friday happy hour beer.
Because you feel you deserve it.
Yeah, exactly. I like this shit,
You can kind of feel like your body's starting to untense.
Well, and not only that, if you're on the road, you see them liquor stores passing you by. they're catching each one of them's catching your eye, and you're like, you know what? It's Friday. I'm pulling in for this one. I worked hard all week. I come in the house, my wife gives me that stink eye, like, oh boy.
We used to do a thing where it was called like last minute shopping, where it's not really
what is that, Steve?
I know, but it would be me and then Poodle and then Jerry that we've talked about in the past. We would purposely wait to buy like one or two gifts like the last minute, and then we'd go to the fucking mall and then go to like TGI Fridays in the mall and just go to the meet at the bar, just go there and then have a couple beers, get a good buzz on, and then, you know, go
Stumble around the mall.
Go shopping, get something, get whatever you got to get, and then get back to the thing. But that first, like, because it's just like, you know, like that time, it's hectic, and then just knowing that you need to get one thing, so you go out and get like that one thing you have to get. That's pretty. We were smarter as we gotten older doing it, where we just like. We would find we would just be like, I need to get like a fucking ornament. Like something like something so simple that it would give you the reason to go out to the mall, see all the people, but you could get it fast and then go right back, and then we would go out to a dinner and stuff like that. But that first beer, whenever we would do like meet in a fucking pay an overpriced,
that didn't matter,
pay an overpriced, you know, chain restaurant beer. I fucking loved it every year. I looked forward to that.
First beer at a show is always good,
like a concert.
Yeah,
I was actually going to say that next.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
After you get in, you get settled, and you get that beer, and you're like, all right, I'm ready. Let's fucking go.
For some reason, Renaissance Festival beer, the first beer at the Renaissance Festivals. I don't know why.
I fucking love it.
It just kind of brings me like that fall vibe. And
do you like the Renaissance Festival?
I've been maybe once or twice in my life. I know I've been once, maybe twice. It's never my crowd.
I mean, yeah, it's not really.
Like I would go, but I have to be in the mood. Like I can't just be like, you know, and then go see a bunch of people eating fucking turkey legs and like and talking all weird.
You walk in, like you walk in, and then there's that. If it's the Maryland one.
Right.
Do they have them nationwide?
Yeah, they have them all over the country.
Then they jump from the people that travel.
Yeah, but you would like, you know, go down this like little road where there's the spots where people would get like, you could buy costumes to get dressed up. There's like two or three shops, and then there's like the bathroom, and then like two doors down is the first fucking beer, and it's just like it always has the longest line, but you don't give a fuck. You're just like this. I'm just going right for this.
You're dedicated to that position.
You dress up?
No.
Fuck no. But we went one time. My buddy thought he was cool, Irish guy, so he's going to wear what's it called?
Kilt.
Yeah, kilt. Right. But I guess at the bottom of a kilt, there's a string that keeps it like
from
tight,
blowing up.
that you're supposed to take out. No, well, you're supposed to take it out. What are you doing? So he's walking around with like this tight ass kilt on the whole time, right?
Like
sometimes
bending at the knees.
Exactly. So this guy comes up to me and he's like, buddy, hold on, and takes it out, and he's like, that's how you do it, and started shaking his ass like it's all floppy, and he was like, I've been running it the whole time wrong. He was like, oh yeah. Just walked away. But yeah, I've never dressed up for that shit.
Would you?
No. I'm not a dress up kind of guy.
I never would dress up, but I.
So what would be the dress up at a Reds for a guy? I know women is like the whole get up with the dress.
Suit of armor.
Yeah, I feel like that. I'd be walking around like the Tin Man and shit.
Right.
I mean, people dress up like I don't know, like, you know that shirt that has like it has shoelaces, like
that type of thing.
Yeah. Like people wear that.
Captain Crack Sparrow. Like.
People wear that.
Exactly.
We went there one time, and we were in like line to get food, and some guy was in line next to us, and he was like, "Oh, I'd love to get Scotch eggs." And if you don't know what a Scotch egg, it's just like a hard-boiled egg, like wrapped in sausage. Yes. One of my buddies got one, and we're standing there waiting for it to come, and he's just like, you know what the best thing to put on a Scotch egg is? A1 sauce. And he's like, oh, I'll have to try that one time. And he's like, they don't even have A1 sauce. He's like, oh, don't worry. Reaches in his pocket, pulls out a bottle of A1 sauce. And he's like, let me get a little dab on your
next to his magic potion and shit. He's got an A1 sauce.
Yeah.
Oh God.
The one thing I will say about the Renaissance Festival is the bathrooms are kind of gross. So God. Yeah, they have like a trough you pee in, and then it's just a line of like porta potties.
Well, everyone's just eating like meat and beer. Like that's
pretty
it.
Much.
It's just straight meat because they're just eating meat on a stick
And
Yeah.
you know they're not bringing that truck in to clean out them porta johns, so they're backed up to the brim.
Well,
half
you need
the
a
time.
full Renaissance experience. Like they didn't have flushing toilets back
Walking
then.
through the muddy streets of
Yeah.
wherever, England.
A woman in Michigan, she lost her Apple Watch in the outhouse. So she dropped her Apple Watch into the toilet. She decided that she really needed that Apple Watch, and she went into the tank.
Head first.
She went into,
in
I don't know.
there, yeah.
I watched the news story and I tried to
Shawshank
figure.
Redemption
I know.
down
I
there,
tried. I don't know how she did it, but she went into the toilet to, I don't know if it's just like a hole in the ground, but
It's a tank. I've been to a couple outhouses in the woods a few times, and it's just.
so she went down there, got her watch, but couldn't get back up.
screaming for help.
So she was.
It's always easier to go down.
Exactly. Yes.
So she's trying to get help, and the police and paramedics come, fire department, and they have to
spelunking in that
they have
place.
to remove the toilet to get her out of the tank. Is there something in life that if you dropped it to where you actually have to you have to do fucking Slumdog Millionaire, like get down into the shit to get it to get out? Is there something?
I have. I dropped.
I was gonna say it's a wedding
I dropped. No. That was $35. I spent it. Whatever. I have dropped my phone in the shitter one time and reached in and grabbed it right after it happened.
So-
Could you see it?
I mean, it wasn't my shitter. Yeah. It was like I was
In your house?
probably watching porn when I was on the shitter, and I fucking bumped it or something and fell out into my toilet. Yeah.
So were you pissing or shitting?
I'm shitting. I just
So
got
it-
done shitting. I wiped my ass and I had my phone and
Might have hit the
boom.
counter and
Yeah, it like bounced off every fucking thing, did a little spin on the rim and went in.
It is when you drop your phone. It is like a
Slow
juggling
fucking
act.
motion,
You're like,
you're
fucking.
Shut it out.
I really don't think something that I would carry with me that if it fell into.
what about your wallet?
Okay, so if I drop
Even
my
if you had no money, all your credit cards, like that's a pain in the ass just to
yeah.
get that taken care of.
yeah, so but I wouldn't worry about that it was stolen.
Somebody's digging for it. I
No.
promise you that.
Yeah, but I like see, in her situation where you had to get fucking in
Yeah,
there,
I'm
in
not
there.
doing all that.
and
No, that's a
It's-
$250 lesson.
It's
That's
a,
what
it's
that
a,
is.
it's a phone call. It's a phone call. Like I'll just
Yeah.
get new cards. You have Google Pay on your phone. Like I don't need my wallet that much.
That's true.
So,
I do have a story. One time I was at a rave when I was growing up. When I was young, I experimented a little bit. And I probably shouldn't listen as my mom's going to hear it, but I was the guy that wound up getting everybody their acid. And then when I was in the bathroom stall, I was counting out the hits, and sure enough, I dropped the fucking acid in the
whole
toilet.
thing?
It was like 15 hits. Yeah, it was a strip. Dropped it in the toilet, but I had my 5 in my other hand. Picked them motherfuckers up, gave them out real quick. So
they're all deleted.
they all tripped. Nah, they tripped. Nah, it was good. But
That's so funny.
that was a power move. I had to.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
know?
feel like in that
It was either
situation-
that or I'm coming in my pocket for
Yeah,
15
it's your
fucking
money.
hits.
So, yeah.
Fuck it.
These
Why,
takes a little
why are they wet? They just got dipped, bro. You're good.
triple dipped.
Just see them and shut up.
Oh god.
Don't ask. Don't ask.
So you might have been a piece of shit on doing that, but you weren't as big of a piece of shit as Hugh Hefner. Let me tell you this.
Before we go into this, my feeling on Hugh Hefner, I feel like there had to be a dark side.
He's involved with power weights in Los Angeles and shit. You know what I mean? Hollywood. He's a fucking creep. He's Epsteinish, you know? He's before Epstein.
Yeah. But I would go to any party at his house.
Fuck yeah. I'm taking anything out of their fucking toilets.
So let me just read some little parts of this article. We can kind of discuss and figure out.
I have a feeling this is going to be pretty bad.
Well, let's see what it says. Obviously, for decades, Hugh Hefner ran Playboy, and so we all know in 2017 that Hugh Hef died at the age of 91.
Jesus, he died in 2017. I feel like
like
it
it was
wasn't that
yesterday.
long ago. Yeah.
Yesterday.
And it really wasn't long after that till kind of some cracks started to happen in the facade of Playboy. People I think might have had the maybe the power to speak out because obviously Hef was no longer around. But so some of his, I guess he called them girlfriends back in the day. Some of his girlfriends, started.
Did he have a weird name for them? No, probably
no,
not.
but there was different rankings of how he ranked his women.
Okay.
One of the girlfriends that has spoken out the most was
Holly Madison.
Yeah, one of his ex-girlfriends who spoke out a lot.
With the name drops.
Holly Madison.
I remember her like.
That show. They had that show.
Yeah, she had a show.
That would say that Hef would not use protection. Ever.
Really?
And this is what they said. They'd have a big bowl and they'd put water in it. And then they'd each have rags. So after he was done fucking them, they would have to like take a rag and wipe him off.
Wipe him off?
Wipe him off before he went to the next girl.
That's really weird, but he went right to the next girl like after he was done.
Got that good fucking pills.
I know, Jesus.
Oftentimes when they were out at nightclubs, Madison, his girlfriend, he would always want them to take Quaaludes. Like, what an old man.
Yeah, they don't even make them anymore. You watch Wolf of Wall Street.
He's got a storage room in the basement.
They said oftentimes there would be 3 or 4 people that lived at the mansion that would have a prescription, warranted or not, to go get Quaaludes, so that he always had Quaaludes on him. Although he denied it, it's been corroborated several times that he would pump them up with Quaaludes.
So you get drugged up, right. Then he's gonna give you a venereal disease, right. And then
pass it down the line.
I know, and then after he's done, you gotta take a fucking washcloth,
a wet wipe, clean yourself up,
wipe the tip.
Hef's term for Quaaludes, he called them thigh openers.
Yeah, because the bitch is passed out.
I know a guy who has a sweater in the Smithsonian that did that.
Women at the mansion had to battle each other to be awarded the title, claiming in the documentary that in order to become Playmate of the Year, you had to do some pretty wild things in the bedroom to be even in the running for Hef to name you Playmate of the Year.
So every single Playmate of the Year had to bang Hugh Hefner.
It's pretty much what it's leading to, what it's saying happened.
I mean, it's not as bad as I'm hearing. It sounds pretty legit. I mean, why not? You want the cover? You know what to do.
What you're willing to
do. She had noticed Hefner had been recording all their sexual activities, and he would play dumb, like, "Oh, I didn't know that it was recording,"
yeah.
And would say, "Oh, if you're not comfortable, I will stop recording." But then within a week, people would start seeing their sex tapes circulating the mansion, even after Hef said that he'd stop recording.
He would give them out, or it would play
I
places?
think it's kind of was a tight-knit group, so like once he recorded, like he'd maybe show this person or this, whatever.
Well, like in his bedroom, he has nothing but videotapes all over. You know what I mean? Like thousands, 100,000s of videotapes. I can only imagine.
And here's where, I guess, if that shit's not creepy enough, this is where it kind of gets creepy to me. Hugh had a skeleton key that unlocked obviously all the doors in the mansion, and he would just, anytime he wanted, would just go unlock a door, and even if the girl was sleeping and he wanted to fuck, he would just start fucking her.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah. He probably got secret doors too and shit. You know what I mean? Like they put a barricade up. Nah, bitch, I'm coming through the bookshelf.
There's a picture on the wall and its eyes are moving.
Exactly. That's exactly what you would think of. You know what I mean? Shit.
And here is a quote from Hef, allegedly. Allegedly. Did they think they were going to come to my house and not sleep with me?
Exactly. That's what I'm like. I feel like if you're at that point, and I'm not saying it's right because it is creepy, but you know them girls are willing to do anything just for that 15 minutes of fame.
Did he pay them to be there?
I don't think so.
No, I think he just paid for them.
Like everything they wanted.
Right.
Oh.
But they had strict rules there. Like they couldn't go out
without him.
Yeah, and he didn't like red lipstick because he said that is what older, mature women wear. And he liked his girls young.
Now you're getting fucking creepy.
And
Here we go.
Oh, the article goes on to state
I'm sure.
a little.
I'm sure.
There's
I'm sure.
some
questionable acts
of some minors that he would be willing to that
yeah.
lived in the mansion.
Ooh.
God,
So
they're definitely from broken home.
Well, I mean, you see it in the news. Like all this is now. You know, Harvey Weinstein, all that shit. It's the same
coming out,
thing.
and he grew up in a time where I feel like that was not only acceptable, that was
Well, the
just
way they treated
the way
women
it
and all that
was.
shit.
Like,
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
and he, at the height of it, Playboy was
that was
Playboy
it.
was the shit. Like he launched thousands of careers.
Was he? I can only picture him as that old man wearing that fucking robe.
Right.
Was he like a good-looking guy?
No, just
Like,
take the
nerd.
wrinkles off.
But here's my question: what do you think his lumber number is? I mean, to have all the women around all the time, you think he's hung like an elephant or fucking like
I
a
bet
light,
you not.
like a light switch?
I would
Yeah.
want to say probably a light switch.
But I feel like if you're that into sex, you can have some.
Here's how I'm going to
surgeries.
say that he wasn't hung like a horse because we would know it.
Yeah, there
Somebody
would
would
be
come
stories.
like, oh my
Yeah.
god, right?
Like he's not rolling around like Tommy Lee.
He's probably had him sign waivers and don't talk about my dick
Well,
size.
there was also disclosures that
I mean,
all
I'm
the
sure
guys
he
had
had,
to
I'm sure.
sign.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
sure he had to because he was. He definitely because of all the parties you would hear, like the parties that people would go to at the Playboy Mansion, you'd hear
Yeah,
stories
yeah.
about like the fucking grotto, like people
disgusting,
banging,
yeah.
and like how much shit. Like like sex and stuff was going on in there. Like it all has to be like he's a fucking
And it started when
scumbag.
the 50s, the first Playboys, like the
I mean,
50s
I
or
guess
something
so,
like
yeah.
that. You know, so it's been going on a long fucking time.
Do you think it started like the first Playmate of the Year? Like he banged like right when the company was starting
Probably.
off.
I don't think he had the pull then.
Yeah, I don't
think
think
he was probably
Right.
just launched. Like he was a serious. Well, I don't say serious, but he probably had dreams of it, right? But a legit business, and then realized pretty quickly the status that it brings
Right.
Yeah.
to have that aura about you. That and then the mansion, and then the stories, and then the girls.
I meant the movie stars, politicians.
Right, like if
all
you
that
were
shit.
invited to a Playboy Mansion party, that you were at like that, you
Yeah.
had made it at
you're
that
and
point.
you're A-lister, more or less,
yeah.
You know what I
Like
mean?
you'd hear,
You don't see Carrot Top walking in that bitch.
I bet you he's probably been there.
Probably
Hey, they had a zoo, didn't they?
everything.
Yeah, petting
Do you
zoo,
think he
yeah.
did something weird with like
Oh,
animals?
Oh.
there in the article it says that
Oh no.
it says that he fucked around with dogs.
Oh my god.
I know a man in Japan that likes.
Maybe you should introduce him.
Oh,
That's
do you think like
that's extreme.
his number of women that he's been with it's probably
Curious.
count.
I mean,
count.
it's almost to the point you could say raped.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
You know what I
They-
mean? Like if you really think
there's
about
probably he probably did more as many galaxies there are in the universe. He's like, but
Yeah, you could say it.
do you think he just ran out of like he was just like, you know what? It's just the same thing every time. Like,
Probably.
bring me that dog. Like,
it. Oh. You know there was a bar in South Baltimore we used to go to, and every weekend it would be a rave. And then it got busted for bestiality and shit upstairs.
No
It's
way, really?
Yeah, right off of Light Street. Yeah. As
So
soon as I
not-
heard that, I was like, fuck. Oh, man, that's so annoying, bro. What are you talking about? That was my chapel. That was my Sunday chapel. Saturday night.
So just so I'm reading it verbatim from the article,
boy.
it described catching Hefner performing a sexual act on a dog.
on a dog?
On a dog after he apparently told her dogs have needs. Stephen Tenderbaum, Hefner's former valet, also said in a documentary that there was sex with dogs on the property.
I wonder what kind of dog it was. Like, what do you go for? You know what I mean? It's got to be something bigger, right?
What's a good looking dog?
None of them. Like, none of them I want to fuck, but
What would it matter?
I'm just trying to figure
I
it
mean,
out in my head.
I'm
like,
guessing it's not a Chihuahua.
I mean, who knows? Maybe you want that fucking hand puppet thing going on. That's fucking weird. People. Bring down the house.
Oh, my side. That hurt my ribs. Oh, shit.
Remember the thing when he was like selling his house, when he was selling the Playboy Mansion, he had to.
Nobody bought it. They had to keep it that way or some shit.
Well,
right?
it was like a weird rule. Like, if you bought it, he still got to live there until he died. So
Popping up in your bedroom, fucking you in
doesn't
your
that
ass.
feel like I know that skeleton key?
Mouth all open, old man style.
Shoving Quaaludes in your butthole.
boofing Quaaludes.
Like something's wrong with the air in here. Every time I wake up, my mouth's dry.
I'm chapped too on that.
Yeah, but I was like, it kind of makes me feel that it's kind of like that's like a pitiful way to roll out. Like you don't even own your house anymore. Like
Just
all
that old
stuff.
man walking
Like
around.
you kind of just want to be like, fuck off.
Knowing that everyone's just waiting for you to die.
Yeah, you're just hanging on.
Half you there? Yeah. Fuck.
God damn it.
With that silk robe.
Yeah, it's all
Probably the
gross.
same Silk Road he's had for his entire fucking life too. He just seems like that type of guy. You know what I mean? So it probably stinks. all
Stunk.
hell yeah. He probably wiped bitches off with it.
Certainly didn't wipe his dick off. 'Cause they didn't
He
wipe
ran,
his
he ran out of
did.
wipes. Here,
Yeah.
take this.
It's Silk Robe.
Speaking of wipes, do you you guys toilet paper or wet wipes? What do you go with?
Toilet paper.
I'm a toilet paper type of guy. I don't mind the wet wipe. The feeling after is a little slippery, I guess you could say. Sometimes I don't know if I enjoy the extra slip.
Yeah.
Now, when you use the wet wipe, do you go and dry with the dry?
I'm normally like wipe 90% toilet paper, finish the last 10% wet wipe.
Right. Yeah, because I figure like if you go the opposite way, then you just got that toilet paper dust on your asshole all day.
Yeah.
I mean, you're bound for a dingleberry, you know.
Take a shower. You're like,
But, like,
what's that there?
Oh, pull it out, look at it, smell it. throw it.
For those that don't use wet wipes, if you got shit on any other part of your body other than your asshole, would just a napkin? Would you just wipe it off with
No,
a
you
napkin?
I see what you're saying. You use soap right away. So
You would use something else other than just a dry napkin or paper towel.
Correct. Yeah.
So why wouldn't the same go for your asshole?
I don't know because it's assumed
Because you
it's
don't
always
see that
dirty.
motherfucker. You can't look down at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're not gonna
Whatever.
sniff. You can't sniff it.
I mean, you can. You
Yeah.
can. Go down and scratch and sniff your fingers.
I've worked back in the day. I
Oh,
worked
boy.
with construction of guys that mostly overweight men. Their ass hangs out of their pants, and tell you what, on some of those hot days, motherfucker, that shit comes right up that butt crack, right up that little sliver of the butt crack.
It's a vent. It's like a chimney.
It's a
Yeah,
fucking
well,
vent.
Sometimes you'd be at work, and when you're in like whatever construction, sometimes you different type of people all around. You always had that guy that had sex with his wife the night before, but never took a bath, and always had that rotten sex smell on him. Like, oh, you fucking stinky bastard! You. Fuck.
He wore it around like a medal.
I hate, exactly. Trying to hand you something, you're going the other way. Like, get the fuck away from me.
I feel like I don't want to.
Probably
smell
like hef smell.
it. yeah, definitely. You know how like you wipe and you're like it's that one that just like keeps going. So you have to like
fucking- you just call
almost,
it quits.
Put your little finger up, you like rub it around.
Give it the swirly.
You swirl your finger around just to make sure you get like you're wiping the inside of the pipe.
You just wipe it to your board.
Oh man, and you get the little red strips on it. You scratch too hard.
yeah.
Dude, so yeah, you know when you start with little blood marks. So I got a story. I was working, time going on. My ass hurt, my asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I'm scratching. And so I think I got hemorrhoids, right? So I'm going for like weeks at a time, and like this hemorrhoid's growing, and it's growing up the crack of my ass, right? And it's the worst pain I've ever had in my life. I'm at a customer's house down on the Eastern Shore, and I'm crying. It hurts so bad, right? And so I can't believe I'm telling all this shit.
That's what happens here. We're just big
It just
families.
gets fucking loose and let's go. So I go there, and the lady's like super rich, and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah." I was like, "I think I got bad hemorrhoids." She was like, "Do you want some Percocets?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!" So fucking she gave me Percocets, and they didn't do absolutely nothing. Well, I'm in Kent Island, and I had to drive to Baltimore.
Which, for our listeners not around here, is about how long of a drive?
an hour.
Okay.
Like, yeah, about an hour. So, and then I had to go to Keeper. I'm at the Bay Bridge. The roads are bumpy, and I got this big, massive pain in my asshole. So I'm shifting everything out. I got my elbows propping me up as I'm driving. Someone's just straight to St. Agnes Hospital. All right. After this time, my ass has hurt so much that it didn't matter. I would do anything just to get it to stop. So I go into the hospital, and they tell me to drop my trowel. So I'm naked, and told me to get up on the bed, like on my fours, doggy style. So I'm sitting there. Hugh
Hefner walks in.
So they tell me with the skeleton key. Fuck, F.
Or the border collie walks in and is like, finally.
Start sniffing around. I'm on all fours, and they leave. I was like, you have a pimple. I have a pimple on my asshole.
You didn't look.
I can't. I'm not that.
But I'm saying you
bendable.
didn't get the wife to like say, check what the fuck I got going on.
She's an evil person. She sticks things where they don't belong sometimes. So no, I did absolutely not that. But it got so bad that I'm shoving this pot before. I kind of jumped the gun, but my son was getting baptized on Sunday. I'm laying in bed. Saturday. I'm laying in bed the day after with my head in the pillow in my master bedroom, screaming. I'm shoving suppositories up my ass because I can't shit. You know what I mean? I got so many out there shooting out like little fucking BBs. And I'm sitting there crying. So I go through, and then I go to the hospital, and I'm sitting there. Nothing's happening. I'm like, fuck. So finally, I'm a very impatient person. I just leave. Because literally, I'm sitting there, and my ass is in the air, the door's wide open, and people are walking around, and I'm just fucking out in the open.
just balls dangling.
So fuck yeah, I'm dead serious. So I was like, finally, I'm like, fuck this, I'm out. So the weekend goes by, go through my son's christening thing. Monday's terrible, and then I'm leaving for Myrtle Beach that Tuesday or something like that. So finally, my wife finds a butt doctor. Right, and I go to the butt doctor.
Did you Google butt doctor?
Pretty much, yeah. And I forgot what they're called, but they got a real name. Not butt doctor.
Proctologist, yeah.
I didn't give a fuck what he called. I called him Jesus after he was done. So I go in there, and once again, I'm used to it. So I just pop up on the fucking thing, like put my ass out and fucking ready to go. And he goes, ooh. I said, ooh. I said, what is ooh? I said, it's ingrown hair, right? He said, He was like, it's a very bad infection. So my asshole, like I could feel this like lump growing up my ass, like towards my spine.
Yeah.
It was huge. It was just, and that was the infection.
How big? Ball size? Golf ball?
Like a little Oscar Mayer Wiener hot dog. You know what I mean? Like that
so
rounded.
oblong?
Yeah.
Like a pig in a blanket size hot dog?
Exactly. Maybe a little bigger though. A sausage. A sausage link. Yeah.
Oh, like a 5-inch sausage link?
Yes, exactly. A 5-inch sausage link. Yeah.
Holy shit.
What's the not the Poltridge, but the other one.
Anyway, the spicy kind, was it spicy or mild?
It was shoved in my ass. I don't know. So I'm in there, and he says, "Well, he's like, it's so infected that we can't do anything to numb it, like, and it has to be cut right now." And I'm like, what? He was like, yeah. He was like, it's too infected. He's like, we have to drain it. And I'm like, Doc, do what the fuck you got to do. And I'm sitting there, and I should have never said that to him, because it was the next 10 minutes of that time was the worst pain I've ever dealt with in my entire life.
Hurts. And
then all of a sudden he cuts, and he's like, oh, it's really filled. And he's like rubbing his finger down, and like this smell comes out. And I smell, and it's like all this shit. And he was like telling the nurse, and I'm cussing. I'm like, motherfucker. He was like, sir. He's like, I'm literally leaving for Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
He was like, sir. He's like, their kids out. They're my fucking kids, so they've heard it before. Fun. I'm like, the lady's rubbing my back. My wife is like, oh my God. And then finally, it was all out. And they were like, well, we're going to let it drain itself, but you're going to have to come back. We might have to shove a tube up in there to drink, because that's how bad the infection was. So, whatever. I got in the car, and I sat in the back of my Yukon, and I just lay there, and the relief was amazing.
Did you instantly start to feel the relief while they were draining it?
Well,
even though
you
hurt?
could feel like it was squirting out. It was like I was milking a cow back there, and fucking. He had to get another cup. I filled up a coffee cup, and they had to get another one in. That's how bad it was. So that sausage link was leaked the fuck out. So
You just
now,
grabbed a cup off a counter.
so now I know what women feel like when they have to go through their monthly thing. You know what I mean? I had to shove pads up in my ass, right? For the
Did you
day.
get stitches? Did he stitch it up?
No, they wanted it to drain. So it was like fucking like constantly, you know what I mean? So I pull it out and fucking throw it in the thing. So
Fun week at Myrtle Beach.
well, my mom was like, well, yeah, you can go down the ocean to saltwater. You know, there's the saltwater heals
Yeah,
every fucking
everything.
thing. You know what I mean? Just jump in the saltwater. And I'm like, all right. So the next day we leave to go to Ocean City. I'm at Myrtle Beach. We're driving down the road and we stop at Cracker Barrel. And I'm fucking going
Does
to Cracker
everybody
Barrel.
go to Cracker Barrel when they go on a road trip?
Because they're doing every
I
exit.
know, it's
you know what I mean?
crazy.
you
Like,
can't
I
miss
always
it.
go to Cracker Barrel whenever taking a road trip.
But it's the worst idea because you have to shit literally 5 minutes
Let's
after.
get all home cooking.
So I'm walking through the fucking the little shopping thing.
Oh,
right?
you haven't shit yet.
No, I've shit.
Oh.
Like this is I'm through like pretty much a full day and we're driving and the blood's pretty much stopped, but it's still there, you know? So I'm walking through and next thing you know, I felt something brush my leg, right? And then I looked down on the ground, there was my tampon on the fucking ground. You know what I mean? It had like a little shit on it. I was like, fuck, I can't reach and pick it. So I just kicked it under the fucking thing and just kept on walking. Walked straight to the bathroom, made me an overall, slapped it up in there and got back on the road.
Hope you weren't eating during that episode.
Put a disclaimer.
Yeah, we're going to put it. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe.
And if you are and you drop your watch in the toilet, you can
Let it
get
go.
Let it go.
Get it? Nah, fuck that. Get it.
As always, follow us on Facebook and all that fun stuff.
Bill, these past 2 episodes have been awesome. So,
Thanks for having me, guys.
yeah, man, anytime,
Absolutely.
anytime. All right, follow us on all social media platforms at Inappropriate with Jim and Steve.
I'm Jim.
I'm Steve.
Cousin Brother Phil back again.